When I'm designing a shoe, some of the concepts that I think about are contrast and contradiction. What can we do that will be really unexpected on a shoe? Like, for example, put a very non-traditional touch on a very traditional shoe. What can we do that's going to visually misguide a person looking at this shoe? Force them to really study the style, take a closer look at it. And I also like the idea of not judging a book by its cover and how we can incorporate that into a shoe. So a Wholecut, I believe, is the perfect shoe to do that on. Now, to give you a little bit of a backstory on what a Wholecut is a shoe that's made from a single piece of leather. Now, this is different than a wingtip or a cap toe, because a wingtip or a cap toe is made from multiple pieces of leather that are stitched together to form the upper. Now, what that means is that when you're cutting multiple pieces of leather, you can actually cut around blemishes on the leather. In contrast, on a Wholecut, you actually have to find the piece of the leather that is blemish-free in order to make this shoe. So a Wholecut represents a whole different level of difficulty from the beginning, from choosing the leathers all the way to lasting and even finishing the shoe. Because it's much more forgiving to finish and to color a single piece of leather from heel to toe than it is to color a shoe that's made of multiple parts. And the fact that a Wholecut, really when it's a finished product, is so elegant and so simple looking, the fact that it's actually much more difficult to produce is pretty interesting. Again, that idea that you can't judge a book by its cover. And that difficulty is a reason that you tend to see Wholecuts being priced more than a cap toe or any other styles. And when we went to create our Nico Wholecuts, which is a Wholecut with broguing to make it look like it has a cap toe, I was really thinking of the idea or the difference between how the person wearing the shoe is going to feel versus how the person perceiving the shoe or looking at the shoe is going to think of it. And to me, a Wholecut is a shoe that gives you a whole different level of confidence when you're wearing it, especially if you really appreciate the craftsmanship and the process that went on behind the scenes or at the factory to create the shoe. And that idea that the person wearing it feels so much more confident, feels so great about it, and at the same time he put on the shoe that can be perceived as an ordinary cap toe, really speaks to that idea that you're wearing the shoe for the way it makes you feel, not because you care how somebody else is going to perceive you. It's not about how much you paid for it or the logo on it. It's about you. You're wearing it because you appreciate a fine piece of craftsmanship. And to me, in a nutshell, that's what the Nico is. And it's also different than a plain toe Wholecut, for example, our Carlo Wholecut, which is a shoe that's very elegant. You really have to pair it with something like a suit, or people even wear it with formal wear. And that's different than the Nico because the broguing on it really tones it down a little bit and allows you to wear a Wholecut with more casual outfits, more casual looks. And the Nico is something really that I had in mind when we came out with our Nicol Patina. As soon as I saw that Patina, I started thinking of this shoe, which we had released about a year before that. And I started thinking about how beautiful the Nicol Patina would look on it. And here we have our Nico in our Cognac Nicol Patina. And you see how the Nicol Patina really makes the broguing on it pop. That contrast, a real dark toe with a darkness around the broguing going into the much lighter panels. It really makes the shoe stand out. It makes the shoe pop. And it's a real gorgeous, really beautiful look on it. And we have it in the Cognac. We also have it in our Diablo Nicol Patina. Also, again, that contrast between the real dark toe and the real dark broguing going into the much lighter side panels is just absolutely stunning. And we made it in black as well. And black is a shoe that our Wholecuts tend to sell in very well, so we're making it available, as I know lots of you guys will probably want it in this color. And we made it a little bit shinier over here around the toe in this version of the black. So if you really enjoy a finely crafted shoe and really like the confidence that comes with wearing something that you know is handcrafted, something that you know was really made with a lot of attention to detail. And that's a real rigorous, difficult process from beginning to end. If you like the feeling of owning and having something like that in your collection, then the Nico Wholecuts is something that you're going to enjoy. And I hope that you enjoy them as much as I enjoyed making them.